So, can you just tell a little bit about yourself and about the book that we are spotlighting?
Sure. So my name is Camryn Van Lingen, and the book I am spotlighting for the road trip is called A Brush with Fate, and it is a fantasy romance. And I actually
Wonderful.
just published it yesterday, so it's pretty exciting. It's
That
brand
is
new.
so exciting. Congrats.
Yeah, so it's basically a allegorical fantasy with biblical parallels, and
Oh,
it follows a court artist with foresight, and she gets hired by the crown prince, and he wants nothing to do with the throne, and so he hires her hoping to escape his impending betrothal. And when he discovers her fated skill, she has to strike a deal with him. And so
oh,
she basically asks for him to keep her secret in exchange for his freedom.
oh, that is intriguing. I can't wait to read it. Oh, this is kind of like a love-hate question for a lot of writers. But what got you inspired for this story? Like, where did you find the inspiration?
It's a great question. I would say, well, I am an artist myself, so part of the inspiration for my female main character Eden to be an artist is just I have a lot of experience with that. And I love reading fantasy myself. So I was kind of like, well, why not combine my love of the arts and fantasy? And I think, I don't know, it kind of just spiraled from there. I don't really know exactly where all the specifics came from, but definitely inspired by some of the things that just I love and the advice, write what you would want to read.
With like fantasy, so is this your first one or is this your debut?
This is not. So this is actually my second novel, and it's
Okay.
it's completely separate from my debut. So my debut is actually a standalone, and it was a near future sci-fi dystopia. So this book is
Oh,
my
okay.
first fantasy.
First fantasy. Okay, very
Yep.
cool. Oh my, that's awesome. So are you working on anything new right now, or are you just kind of working on the marketing and stuff for this new one?
I am actually writing book two because this is going to be
Oh,
a series. And I
okay.
know as a reader, I hate having to wait in between. So
I
I'm
know,
already
right?
getting going on book two in the series. Yep.
Well, and so if you're two main characters in this new fantasy of yours, fantasy, would you consider it romantasy since it's fantasy and romance, or
I honestly, there's like such a fine line between like, is it romantasy? Is it fantasy
I,
romance? I'd
I
say the
know,
romance
right?
is a big part of it, but I mean, there's a lot more to it. So I don't mind calling it a romantasy, but it
Okay,
is
cool.
no spice. It's clean. So it's not the typical romantasy,
Yeah,
maybe.
yep. No, that's great. Awesome. And so for this, the two main characters, if they were to go on a road trip, where would they go? And what kind of treats would they bring with them? And it can be, it can be here in the world or it can be in the world that you have it, or just use your inspiration, whatever comes to mind.
That's a great question. I would say, um, let's see, if in their world, if they went on a road trip, I can see them traveling to the nearby kingdom of Corsica, and they're in Montera. So they would travel by floating carriage,
Oh,
and
cool.
the horses would be pulling them, but there'd be no bumps in the road because obviously there's no wheels, so they could
Oh,
travel
cool.
faster. And they would probably have a little bit of a love-hate travel relationship because I do have that enemies to lovers banter in there. So Cassian would not like to be cooped up. He's the crown prince, and he definitely would be annoyed the whole time. And I think he would try to pass it off that he doesn't need any snacks on this road trip.
Oh, sure.
And Eden would bring an armful of sweets from her best friend's bakery in town.
Oh,
So
cute.
she would have like loaves of bread for sure, because she's a bread girl. And she would probably have some diamond dusted donuts
Oh,
and chocolate chip
cute.
cookies.
I love that. I love that. That's really cool. So when you were writing this, like, because you create a whole new world and everything. So, was there anything like difficult about that for you?
Yes, I would say my debut was definitely easier to write just because it was more grounded in kind of things I knew in reality. So then having to come up with the whole fantasy world is like extremely exciting and fun, but also
Yep,
terrifying because
I'm
there's a
sure.
lot of like little nuances you have to figure out and learn. So I am not a geography girly and I never have been. So trying to figure out like, hey, how many kingdoms should there be and what are all the specifics? I definitely kind of gloss over some of those, and a lot of them don't end up making it into the final book because it's like
Okay.
the author needs to know, but the reader doesn't.
Yep.
So I would say the hardest things were definitely trying to think about the different kingdoms, how the different cultures might differ, and the religions and all of that. And then as you go, you definitely find plot holes and you're like,
Oh,
oh, I might have to go back and fix that one.
right. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny how that does happen sometimes. But yeah,
Mhm.
when you think of it, like, like our world has, like so many like rules and like the trees and the plants, gravity, things like that all work together. So I'm sure it is a big feat to, yeah, kind of create this own new world, like the carriage floats. Like that's an awesome, really cool, thought and idea and everything. So I bet you had a lot of fun with it.
I did, yeah. And I definitely took a lot of inspiration from our world just because that is something that I know and can write best. So it's Earth with a few tweaks.
Okay, Earth with a few twigs. I like that. And you live in South Dakota, right?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Absolutely beautiful state. My husband and I just came back from Colorado and we drove through South Dakota on the way back to North Dakota since that's where I'm at. And yeah, beautiful state.
I love South Dakota. Born and raised. I've lived here my whole life.
It's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, so with that then, since you're from South Dakota, did you take any of the beautiful parts of your state or any of the culture or anything like that and kind of like tweak it into your story or get inspired from your state for that?
Yeah, I don't think I went into it deciding I was going to do that, but now that
Yeah,
I think about it, South Dakota definitely made its way into my novel.
very cool.
My book has a wildflower field and just a lot of like sprawling kind of fields, which is something that I see a lot in South Dakota, and I think that that
Totally.
kind of made its way in there. And the hills of South
Oh,
Dakota, you've got plains and hills. We don't have a whole lot other than that, but
I love it.
that for sure. And then kind of I would say small town within a bigger city vibe. So I think
Okay.
those two things are the main ones that made it in. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. And then if you were to go on a road trip, what book, any book, maybe it's like your favorite book, the book you love to go back to, or maybe you have two favorite books or whatnot, which books would you bring with you on a road trip?
That is a really tough question to
I
answer.
know,
I have
right?
so many books I love. My go-to, and honestly, I don't know why, but my go-to has always been the selection series. I just
Oh, yep.
love Kira Cass's romance. They're sweet and they've got the royal court intrigue. And I have
Yeah.
read that series many times already, so maybe I've taken
Cool.
some inspiration from there
And
too.
Cameron, what is kind of like the day in the life of a writer? Writer Cameron.
Yeah, so in the summer, my writer author life definitely gets to take precedence, but when the school year starts, it actually becomes a nighttime thing. So by day, I am a
Okay.
high school teacher,
Yep.
and so I have a lot of people ask me, when do you find the time to write?
Right.
And it's just something that I love doing. So honestly, after a day of teaching, I'll come home and I sit down and I'll write and I put on a good playlist. Has to have just no lyrics, nothing, because I get distracted.
Me too.
And then I don't know, I guess I try to fit in reading in there too, but reading has kind of gone by the wayside a little bit now that I started writing. It's
Okay.
hard to balance everything for sure.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I completely get that. So, yeah, I'm sure that when you are teaching like high school students, you get a lot of ideas from with stories with that too, as like characters and stuff too.
Yeah, sure. I definitely encounter a lot of different personalities.
Right? I bet. Oh my goodness. That is so cool though. Yeah. And then so you're married and you have kids?
I do not have any kids yet. I
Okay.
am a mother of two cat babies.
Cat babies, they're the best babies. Yeah, I have some kitties and a dog too, so I
Yeah.
completely get that. They're so cute. As part of the road trip part of this interview, then, if no one's ever been to like, if someone's watching this video and they're like, "Oh, I've never been to South Dakota," what places in South Dakota would you recommend people go to? I have a few ideas in my mind because I love South Dakota too, but since you're a South Dakotan, what would you recommend people definitely check out or put on their bucket list to see?
Yeah, so I'd say probably what most people already think of when they think of South Dakota is Mount Rushmore, which is, the faces that are literally on all of our license plates, even. That's what South Dakota is known for. So, in the Black Hills area, so Rapid City and the Badlands, I would say Spearfish.
Yeah.
So, all of the west side of the state is just full of beautiful, I don't know, like landscapes and the obviously Mount Rushmore, but you've got Wall Drug. We have a lot of history over there.
Yep.
And then I'm a little biased. I love Sioux Falls too. We've got the Falls Park, so we have a
Yeah.
waterfall. It's kind of small in comparison to
Right.
some of the other ones, but it's very pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's
those
awesome. And
probably, yeah.
is that the area that you live in then?
Yeah, so I live over
Oh,
on the east side in the Sioux Falls area.
okay. Wonderful. And then
Yeah.
what I don't know, like restaurants or coffee shops would you recommend people stop at?
Well, I would say in Sioux Falls, we have the Phillips Avenue Diner, which has been around forever, and it's in the downtown area, and it's so cute, and it has such good food. And
Yum.
the downtown area has just exploded. We have like a brand new, well, not brand new, we're new when I graduated high school, so it's been a
Yep.
few years. But the
Sure.
Arc of Dreams, it's a really cool metal statue that goes over the river. And
Oh.
so downtown's just an amazing place to be around. So I would say any restaurant downtown is always fun.
You're
So
working on the second book right now for this series. And how many books is going to be in this series? Do you know at the moment or not really?
so I'm planning it's going to be a trilogy.
Okay.
And then we will see from there whether I do any spin-offs of different side characters and
Oh,
things.
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, since you've written both sci-fi dystopian or fantasy, which one have you kind of like enjoyed the most?
Hmm.
And hard to pick one baby over the other, right?
I think I love them both for different reasons. So, as
Okay.
a reader myself, I love reading dystopia, which is kind
Yeah.
of morbid to say because, like,
They're fun, right? I
dystopia
don't
is,
know. It's
yeah.
the survival
Um,
aspect of it, maybe.
yeah, maybe. The fact that it's just like things that could happen and it's like it makes you really think about our current society.
Yeah.
Um, I will say I've had a lot of fun writing the fantasy book, partly because I've got the enemies to lovers banter in there, which was
Oh,
just so
fun.
fun to write. And
Yeah.
as a writer, dialogue is like my favorite thing to write.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, the fantasy elements have been so fun to kind of just explore and to bend the rules a little bit of what we're used to seeing on Earth and all that. So I would say I love both for different reasons.
Okay. Well, I love that. And so then too, when you're writing a new book or, like when you started writing this one, what came first? Was it the characters or the plot?
I think with A Brush with Fate, it was the plot. I knew
Okay.
I wanted to have a romance between a court artist and a crown prince, and then the characters kind of came from there.
I love that.
And for my debut, I actually think it was kind of the same. Weirdly enough, yeah, I start with the plot and then the characters kind of come
Okay.
secondary.
Interesting. It's always interesting to ask every author like which one they got first because sometimes it's always the same and sometimes it's different. So it's always
Yeah.
kind of cool to see what that is and everything. Perfect. Well, Cameron, it was lovely to chat with you today, and I look forward to getting to know you more and following you more online and reading your books. And then I'll be meeting you in South Dakota, I think, this year, right?
Yes, for the literature and lattes, right?
Yes, yes, I'm excited. I'm so excited to be going and everything. So, first
Yeah.
time for me. Is it first time for you or?
This is my second. So I was there the first year when it was in Brandon, and
Okay.
it's amazing. So you are coming into an awesome, awesome community, and I'm so excited
Yay.
to meet you in
Oh
person
my
in
gosh, me too. It'll
September.
be so much fun. So I look forward
Yeah.
to it and so happy we were able to connect for this and
Yeah, thank
look
you. I
forward to
really
meeting.
do appreciate it. It's so
Oh,
cool. I love what you're
totally.
doing with the whole road trip.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem at all. It's been a lot of fun and everything.
Amazing. I love it. And it's so fun to meet other authors and to be able to like connect this way and
Yeah,
just spread the word. Yeah.
it really is. I love that. Well, then where can people find your books and more about you?
Yeah, so I am on Instagram and TikTok, and I have my own website as well. My books are all available pretty much anywhere you can find books.
Okay.
Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, all the places.
Well,
And that's mainly where I am active.
I'm so excited and thank you so much for being on the road trip with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, most definitely. You have a great rest of your day. I'll
You
talk to you
too.
later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for riding shotgun on the Romance Reading Road Trip. I'm so excited for you to be joining this journey with us. Be sure to go down to the video description below and sign up for the passport. You're not going to want to miss out on it.